How to build a Blackgates Sweet Pea 5-inch gauge locomotive, part 26, working on the wheel sets, drilling, fettling and cleaning. There are one or two things that bother me about the wheels. One is the state of the rusty edges, the fact that the holes haven't been drilled through where they've been rough cast, and the way that the casting has been pegged to the axles is very messy. The first thing I'm going to do, however, is drill the holes that are already cast into the wheels to a fixed size. But please be aware I am not going to do it like I'm showing here. This is for the benefit of beginners. Do not, under any circumstances, drill the holes this way by holding the wheel set in your hands and putting a drill bit through the hole, because if it grabs, you have a big problem. And especially when the drill bit breaks through the hole all of a sudden and narrowly misses your hand, as shown here. I did actually stage this, by the way. I'm not entirely stupid. I'm using a DeWalt electric drill which is very powerful, and I engaged the clutch, because without the clutch, if the drill grabbed, it would throw the wheels off the bench, and I really didn't want this to happen. I drilled the first of the holes using this method, but now here is a much better way of doing it. With the brass protectors in place, I clamped the wheel in my bench vise. And now it's going nowhere, but the drill is still going to grab, as you can see here. It keeps grabbing the cast iron, particularly as it breaks through. This is normal, and I expected it, and I can control it because the wheel is held firmly in the vise. I'm not going to show every bit of the drilling operation. There are 8 holes to drill, 4 in each wheel set. Besides, why do I need to drill these holes? Because the existing holes that were rough cast look really bad. And with the holes in this rough cast condition, they are really not going to get any better once I paint the wheels later on. The painting of the wheel sets, including the pony truck, will be in the next episode, and it will be well worth a watch, because it also includes fitting the wheels into my lathe to rotate them and clean the edges, being very careful not to injure myself severely by touching the crank pins with my fingers. This job got a bit easier for the simple reason I got used to the way the drill bit was performing in the cast iron holes. Chilled castings are a problem. It's usually thin parts of the casting that cool too quickly, and these edges of the inside of the holes are slightly chilled. After a while I figured out that if I didn't apply too much pressure, the drill went through much more smoothly and it got there in the end. On this DeWalt drill there is a built-in clutch like there is on most electric drills, and this is engaged at its highest level. You can hear by the sound it makes when the clutch is being engaged by putting too much pressure on the drill bit and the drill bit grabbing in the hole. As the drill bit breaks through, it suddenly surges forward, and that's another reason why you do not want your hand to be around the axle boxes at the other end. It's common sense really, but these days I do find that common sense is not quite as common as it used to be. Once I drilled each of the holes, I ran the drill back and forth just to smooth things out. I got a finish that I was very pleased with. Now the wheel sets are covered in cast iron chippings. I'm brushing these away with a paintbrush dipped in cellulose thinners. Why cellulose thinners, or lacquer thinner as you call it in the USA? Well, apart from cleaning all the swarf away, it degreases the front of each wheel, because very shortly, as I mentioned earlier, it will be in the next episode, I'm going to paint this part. First of all I used the brush with the cellulose thinners to clean off the swarf. Then I dipped the brush one more time into the cellulose thinners and went over the wheels again, just to make sure that they weren't oily. To be honest, this job was a bit premature, because there's a bit of fettling to do on the castings, and for that I'm using my Proxon angle grinder fitted with a flapper wheel, being very careful not to touch either the centre or the outer part of the wheels that have been machined. This sharp piece of cast iron on the edge of the balance weight really does have to go, and in no time at all it's looking better already. I tackled various areas in different parts of each of the wheels, and in the end the wheel sets did start to look okay. As I've mentioned many times before, of all the tools I have in the workshop, this small Proxxon angle grinder fitted with a flapper wheel is by far one of the most useful. Unlike a full-size angle grinder, it's nowhere near as savage and much easier to control. And the small flapper wheel gets into all the corners. There's not a lot more I can say in this episode. Here are the parts on the bench, ready for some more attention. More about that in the next episode. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.